Hello student, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn on managing current record. So basically, in the previous lesson, we did learn on what is a current record. So basically, current record also known as active record, at which we will use frequently at least 3 or more times in a month. And because of that, we will keep the records or the current record near to our office or near to our workstation. And basically, that will say that active record or current record being kept in the registry. So let's we have a look what is actually means by registry. Current record management will include mail management and also file management. As you can see that on the left side here, it's the examples of mail management. It's related to on how to manage the incoming and also the outgoing of the mail, or known as a correspondent. On the right side, this is the examples of the picture regarding on the file management, at which is dealing on how to keep the record and how to retrieve the record. Not only that, there will be also the maintenance part, the borrowing part, and also the transfer. The activities of the mail management and the file management is actually carried out in the registry of the agency or the company itself. So you can imagine now, when we talk about current record, it will be dealt from the beginning of the creations of the record itself, whether we create by our company, within our company, or we receive from the outside of the company. And after we have done for the sorting, for the routing, and also for the dispatching, then we will do on the filing part. So here, when we talk about registry, it means that a unit within an organization, at which the basic responsibilities is actually to manage the record of the particular of the organization, and its exact function will may keep on changing with the times. Why? Because it depends on the needs of the company. And basically, a registry ensures that there is a good flow of recorded information in the organization. So here, when we talk about registry means that it is the functions of managing the record of the organization and to ensure a good flow of the recorded information, so that whenever we need the records, it is available for us to use. There is 5 functions of registry that you need to know. First, the functions of registry is actually to house the entire series of the record kept in a particular department and to have an intellectual control of the records. It means that the registry is the place where we keep all the records that we have, whether we receive from the outside of the company or it being created in or within the company. That's why when we put in the one place, that particular department or that particular unit will have the intellectual control of the record. The intellectual control of the record here means that the ownership on that particular record. So that units or department is responsible to ensure the physicals of the records. The second functions of registry is dispatching and receiving all the letters. It registers all the letters received from the internal and the external, meaning here, the second function of registry, not only they send out the letter, which is the dispatching, but they also the place to receive all the letters. Once they receive the letters or they dispatch the letters, they need to register first. Why? Because it can be used as a reference. If anything happens, then we can check back on the dates of receive, and also dispatch. Here, dispatch means that you sending out the letter, whether you send outside the company or you send within the organization, which is from one department to another department. So basically, it can be categorized into internal and also external. Internal means that within the organization, while the external means that it comes from outside the company. So basically here, incoming letters, we will stamp of the date of receipt. While for the date of receipt and the name of the sender, we will enter to the register. Register meanings is a kind of the logbook that we need to key in the date of the receipt and the name of the sender. The third functions of registry is monitor the movement of the records or file. This is actually to ensure all the file movement is properly recorded and returns it to the registry at the right time. Meanings here, the next functions of registry at which is to look after on the records. The file movement can be from department to another department. Therefore, we need to have a properly recorded who is actually borrow that record. And there will be another user that want to use that record. So that's why we need to also record it. When is the deadline for the borrower to return the record so that the next user can know when they can borrow that record. It's very important to monitor the movement of record or the file because sometimes in the emergency cases, okay, we will want to use the record immediately. So by having the monitoring to that particular records, then we can retrieve the informations on the current place of the record and who is actually borrowed that record. The next functions of registry is to ensure the action to be taken on a file is brought to the attention of the staff concerned. This means that when there is a letter come into the organization, it is a responsibility of the staff in the registry to identify who is responsible for answering that particular correspondent. Therefore, by doing so, the correspondent or the letters is being brought to the attentions of the staff concerned. And lastly, the functions of registry is to keep track with the record life cycle. If you still remember in the previous lesson, you did learn on the life cycles of the record and also the 3 phases involved in a record activity. So basically, the functions of the registry is to ensure there is a physical segregate, which is the separation or the isolations of the file according to the record life cycle. Some of the record will require for us to dispose. However, some of the record will need for us to maintain the record for a long period of time due to the several reasons. For example, like the record has a value in terms of the historical and also in terms of the legal. And the organizations definitely need to prepare an updated list of the file to be destroyed because every day they will have a new record created and there will be the new place that we need to keep the record. So by separating the old record and the new record will help us to reduce the space for keep the record. And usually the record for inactive use will be kept in the record center or we call it as a immediate record. So that's all for the introduction on managing current records. So I hope that you understand on the basic functions of the record that I mentioned previously, and there will be what we call it as the types of registry that you are going to learn in the next video. So stay tuned with me.